Hey guys, BriarRabbit here, and today is the big day for Xbox fans. So the Xbox One comes out today. I'll be actually heading out right after I finish recording this video to stand in line at GameStop to get my ticket, and then I'll return at midnight to actually obtain the Xbox. I'm pretty excited about it. I can't wait to try out some of the media features, and I really want to get a hold of Call of Duty Ghosts to try that out on the Xbox One. In case you don't know, if you're not into recording video, the PS4 is actually fairly challenging to record on. You have to jump through quite a few hoops to get a video onto YouTube. Luckily, I was prepared for that. I kind of did a little bit of research before the PS4 came out, and I was prepared for that. But the Xbox One is a much easier situation, so I would suspect that a lot of your favorite YouTubers are going to be playing Call of Duty Ghosts on the Xbox One, just because it's so much easier to record on. There's none of that HDCP copy protection or anything like that. So in this gameplay, I'm actually running around with this Bulldog. I like this gun. I have a good time with it. It's challenging to use a shotgun in Call of Duty Ghosts. You know, just because the maps are so big and there's so many long sight lines that you really have to be careful to navigate the map with a great deal of care. I do like this gun, though. It really fires fast. It kind of reminds me of the Striker from Modern Warfare 3. And overall, I'm having a good time with it. The muzzle brake is a must for it. The getting steady aim as a perk is a must, and I think lightweight is a must too. I'd like to run Amplify and what's the one that silences your footsteps? You know the one I'm talking about. And that makes me kind of this silent killer. The only time I'm hurt is when I actually fire the gun, and then I make an awful lot of racket because this thing fires quick, and you can actually kill guys from a decent ways away. You know, you have to be careful when they're like kind of at that medium range, but as long as they're relatively close, you can kill guys pretty quickly. And if you get that one-shot kill, guys with assault rifles or SMGs really almost have no chance. The people who give you the most problems are the guys running the MSBS, because that thing almost acts like a shotgun at close range. If they get 2 shots into you, you're dead, and that thing fires quick. So, like I was saying before, I am looking forward to playing this game on the Xbox One. I just want to see what the differences are. I suspect that you won't be able to see much of a difference at all. Definitely not on YouTube, because once the video gets processed both on your computer and then again by YouTube, you lose a lot of that really high definition fidelity that you see when you're actually playing the game. So for YouTube purposes, my guess is that the Xbox One is going to be just fine. It's going to look the same as the PS4 version on YouTube. They are also getting the DLC earlier. My guess is that you're going to see the majority of YouTubers really playing on the Xbox One, because not only are you getting the DLC earlier, it's also easier to record. And, you know, a lot of people are just used to the Xbox One controller. I actually prefer the DualShock 4 controller over the Xbox One controller, which I was surprised about. I was never a fan of the DualShock 3. I hated those mushy triggers. I didn't like how the thumbsticks kind of made your thumbs hit each other if they kind of went the same way. And it wasn't very comfortable to hold, but the DualShock 4, in my opinion, is like the best controller ever made. And I think that they took that title away from the Xbox 360. And once I got a Xbox One controller in my hands, I was a little surprised. It didn't seem to be a step up from the Xbox 360 controller. It almost seems to be a step down. To be honest with you, it almost feels like it's made for smaller hands than what the Xbox One controller was. Now, the good thing about it is it doesn't have that big battery hump in the back, so that my hands aren't all crumped up, like kind of crumpled up back there where the battery pack was. A lot of people use the wired controller just because of that. A lot of people use the wired controller also just because they thought that there was less lag. I never noticed any lag. I'm not a professional MLG player, though, right? And I like to kind of sit back. The less wires, the better, in my opinion. It's just less kind of stuff that I could potentially get wrapped up, and less failure points and all that stuff. So when I ordered a SCUF, I actually got the wireless version of the SCUF, and I loved that SCUF. That was, okay, so I said the Xbox 360 controller was the best controller ever, but the SCUF Xbox 360 controller was the best controller ever. That thing was modified just perfectly for me. It had the PS3 thumbsticks, so it had those rounded, kind of domed thumbsticks, which I thought were much more comfortable. And it had the triggers on the back, you know, like those little paddles on the back. So knifing was, again, a usable tactic for me, because I play with tactical on my controller. So knifing actually requires me to move my thumb from my thumbstick to either the B button or the square button, I think it is. No, it's the circle button on the PlayStation. So I often got knifed. You know, when it was a panic knife situation, I was always going to be slower. And while I was knifing, I couldn't aim at all until I got a scuff. And then I really got used to that scuff. And also being able to jump and aim at the same time was a huge advantage. So I'm looking forward to seeing what scuff does with the Xbox One and the DualShock 4. The DualShock 4, I'll be happy if they just add the paddles on the back. But the Xbox One controller needs a few more improvements in my eyes. I assume that they'll have to do something like they did with the hybrid controller. If you look at Scuff's hybrid controller, they actually replaced the entire back plate of the 360 controller. And I think they'll probably have to do something similar with the Xbox One controller, because that battery pack is basically right where they would put those paddles. So I don't know if they'll be able to mount it somehow like that, or if they'll just end up replacing the entire back panel of the controller. Nice thing about the Xbox One controller is that it has no screws, so when you're holding it, it feels like completely smooth. And it's got a really nice soft touch material. So unlike with my 360 controller where I got that kind of scuff grip on the back, I'm just going to leave this one bone stock. But definitely want to get new thumbsticks, and I hope that the scuff will offer some kind of a increased spring rate on the thumbsticks, so they're a little bit stiffer. The triggers, I don't know what they'll do with the triggers. Scuff likes to do those, you know, kind of... they're like kind of little stoppers for your trigger, so you can adjust them so that the trigger will only depress so far as the gun will fire, and then after that they won't depress anymore, so you can fire much quicker with those trigger stops. And I think that'll probably work with the Xbox One. I don't know if they'll have to replace the triggers. I suspect the triggers are so big on the Xbox One because of those rumble motors. I suspect that the rumble motors are kind of right inside of there, and that's why it's so big. But overall, like, I think the Xbox One controller is good, but I don't think it's as good. It's not as ergonomic as the Xbox 360 controller. The shoulder buttons, too, they're kind of funny. I used to kind of hit those with kind of the second knuckle down, right? I would never actually move my finger over to the shoulder buttons. I would just kind of lean my finger over to hit them, to throw a grenade or whatever. And I don't know if that's really going to be a viable option on this new controller. I've got it in my hands right now, and I'm looking at it. So, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what Scuff can do with both of the new controllers. I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on the Xbox One tonight. I don't know what the new games are going to be like. I know that I'm really looking forward to Forza. I know that I'm really looking forward to Dead Rising 3. That game looks like it's just going to be a ton of, like, chaotic and disgusting zombie-killing fun. I've seen a couple of clips with guys, like, you can combine two vehicles, and one guy kind of combined a motorcycle and a steamroller, so the front wheel of the motorcycle was actually the steamroller, and he was just mowing down zombies. It looked like just a ton of fun. So I've liked the Dead Rising games in the past. Well, I liked Dead Rising 1. I never actually played Dead Rising 2. So I'm looking forward to the games. I'm really looking forward to Titanfall. That game, to me, is the Xbox One system seller. It's made by the guys who made the original Modern Warfare, and it just looks like so much fun and something really fresh. I think that a lot of people are really going to like that game. I think it's going to be a huge seller for the Xbox One. But we'll have to wait till, I think, March for that one. So that's going to do it for this gameplay. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.